the banished warriors in the vast expanse of the Milky Way, where stars danced like fireflies in the eternal night. The galactic concordance reigned supreme. This interstellar alliance, forged from the ashes of ancient cosmic conflicts, encompassed over 1,000 sentient species. From the crystalline minds of the Zerethians, who communicated through harmonic vibrations, to the amorphous blobs of the Quervex, who shifted shapes as easily as thoughts. The Concordance was a tapestry of diversity, united by one unbreakable law: peace, war. That primal scourge had been eradicated, not through force, but through enlightenment. Advanced neural inhibitors, woven into the fabric of every citizen's existence, suppressed aggressive impulses. Diplomatic A's resolved disputes before they escalated. And for those rare species deemed too volatile, there was the Bana decree that isolated them from the galactic stage, confining them to their home systems, under watchful quarantine: humanity. The upstart primates from the blue-green marble called Earth fell squarely into that category. Discovered in the late 22nd century by Terran reckoning, though the Concordance measured time in pulsar cycles, they had burst onto the scene with a ferocity that shocked the stars. Their history was a litany of bloodshed: world wars, genocides, colonial conquests. Even after achieving faster-than-light travel, humans carried their combative spirit like a badge of honor. In their first contact skirmish, a single human vessel, the USS Vanguard, had dismantled a Zerathian survey fleet through sheer tactical brilliance and unrelenting firepower. The Concordance acted swiftly. At the Grand Assembly on the orbital citadel of Harmonia Prime, representatives from every member species voted unanimously. The Terrans declared the elder voice of the Quervex, its form rippling like jelly in a storm, are a virus of violence. They must be contained, lest they infect the galaxy. Thus, the ban was imposed. Earth's solar system was ringed with quantum barriers, impenetrable fields that allowed trade and communication, but forbade military expansion. Humans were permitted observers in the Concordance, but never warriors. Their ships were disarmed, their soldiers demilitarized. The galaxy breathed a collective sigh of relief, convinced that humanity's warlike nature was a relic of evolutionary barbarism, safely locked away. Centuries passed. The Concordance flourished. Trade routes blossomed like nebulae. Cultural exchanges painted the void with vibrant hues. Planets terraformed, stars harnessed for energy. Peace became not just a policy, but a way of life. The Zerathians composed symphonies of light. The Quervex engineered worlds of liquid dreams. Even the once bellicose Draconi, reptilian warriors who had reformed under the Concordance's guidance, now channeled their energies into philosophical debates. But peace, as the ancient Terran philosophers might have warned, is often the prelude to greater storms. It began subtly in the outer rims. Scout probes from the fringe colonies vanished without trace. Communication relays flickered out like dying embers. At first, the Concordance dismissed it as cosmic anomalies, black holes swallowing signals, solar flares disrupting feeds. But then came the distress calls. From the colony world of Elisera, verdant paradise shared by multiple species, a frantic message pierced the ether: unknown entities, breaching defenses. They consume everything. The transmission cut off mid-scream. The Grand Assembly convened an emergency session. Holographic projections filled the vast chamber, faces or equivalents of worry etched across alien features. What are these entities? Demanded the Zerathian delegate, its crystal lattice humming with anxiety. Investigative fleets were dispatched. What they found chilled the collective soul of the galaxy. The invaders were not a species, not in the traditional sense. They were a swarm-man, amorphous horde of biomechanical horrors, dubbed the Void Swarm by the first survivors. Originating from the intergalactic void, beyond the Milky Way's grasp. They were a plague of self-replicating machines fused with organic matter, driven by an insatiable hunger to assimilate. Planets stripped bare, populations devoured and repurposed into more swarm drones. Their technology defied logic. Adaptive shields that learned from attacks. Weapons that warped reality itself. The Concordance's peace-enforced militaries, atrophied from disuse, crumbled. Diplomatic A is attempted parleys, only to be met with silence or worse. Digital corruption that turned the A's against their creators. Neural inhibitors failed against an enemy that bypassed biology altogether. World after world fell. The Dracone, rediscovering their old fire, mounted a valiant stand on their homeworld, but even their plasma lances couldn't stem the tide. The Corvex tried shapeshifting into mimics of the swarm, infiltrating from within, but were absorbed like drops in an ocean. Desperation set in. Whispers echoed through the assembly. What of the Terrans? Their ban was for war, but this is survival. The elder voice hesitated. They are too dangerous. Unleashing them could doom us all. But as the swarm encroached on core worlds, the vote shifted. Observers were sent to Sol System, bearing a plea. Help us, or we all perish. On Earth, in the gleaming spires of New Geneva, the United Terran Federation received the message. President Elena Vasquez, a descendant of those who had chafed under the ban, smiled grimly. They need us now? After centuries of treating us like lepers, her advisors nodded. The human military, though confined, had never truly disarmed. In secret shipyards orbiting Jupiter, fleets waited. Soldiers trained in virtual wars, honing skills passed down from ancestors who had conquered worlds with ingenuity and grit. We accept, Vasquez transmitted. But on our terms, the quantum barriers flickered, then fell. Human ships sleek. Predatory vessels named after ancient gods of war surged into the galaxy. The Concordance watched with bated breath. Little did they know. The terrifying truth about humanity was only beginning to unfold. The human onslaught. The first engagement was at the Battle of Nebula's Edge, a swirling gas cloud that hid the swarm's advance flotilla. Concordance forces, a ragtag alliance of Zarathian crystal ships and Draconi battlecruisers, had been holding the line by the skin of their T-Thor scales, as it were. Captain Marcus Hale, commander of the Terran destroyer Ares, stared at the tactical hologram. His crew, a mix of hardened veterans and eager recruits, buzzed with anticipation. Remember, he broadcast shipwide. We're not just fighting for them. We're proving why they feared us. The Ares dropped out of hyperspace like a shadow, flanked by a squadron of human vessels. The swarm turned. Tendrils of biomechanical horrors, extending like grasping fingers. Concordance commanders watched in awe, and horrors humans unleashed hell. No neural inhibitors here. Human tactics were a whirlwind of chaos, feints within feints. Enemy bursts timed to exploit swarm adaptations. Boarding parties in powered exosuits that ripped through holes with vibroblades and plasma torches. Where the swarm learned from one attack, humans improvised two more. Enjoying this, murmured a Corvex observer, its form quivering. Indeed, human comes crackled with banter. Take that, you metal maggots, yelled a Marine as he planted a quantum charge. The battle turned. Swarm ships shattered under concentrated fire from human railguns. Weapons that punched through adaptive shields by sheer kinetic force. Drones swarmed, but human fighters piloted by adrenaline-fueled aces danced through the void. Lasers carving elegant death. Victory was swift, decisive. The Concordance cheered, but unease lingered. Humans didn't just win. They dominated with losses minimal compared to the swarm's annihilation. Word spread. Human fleets fanned out, reclaiming lost worlds. On the glass plains of Zeroth Prime, Terran ground forces deployed mechs that towered like titans, stomping swarm hives into oblivion. Medics, drawing from Earth's brutal history, developed virucidal agents that corrupted the swarm's organic components. But cracks appeared. In joint operations, humans chafed at Concordance protocols. Why negotiate with these things? Snapped General Kira Voss during a strategy session. They're not alive. They're a disease. Cure it with fire, the elder voice protested. Our ways preserve life. Laughed. Your ways got you invaded. Ours in threats. The successes mounted. So did suspicions. Human ships carried unmarked cargo, tech that hummed with forbidden energies. Rumors whispered of Project Phoenix, a Terran initiative from the Ban era, designed to weaponize stars themselves. Then came the incident on Colony Zatnine. A swarm queen, a colossal entity directing the horde, was cornered. Concordance forces advocated capture for study. Humans disagreed. Explosions rocked the planet. The queen vanished in a mushroom cloud, along with half the continent. They destroyed valuable intel, accused the Draconi delegate, or prevented a trap, countered Vasquez. Trust us. We've fought worse, the galaxy pondered. What worse? Humanity's history was known, but details were sanitized. Ancient Terran wars spoke of nukes, bioweapons, genocides. But was there more? Scouts delving into human archives, now accessible post-ban uncovered fragments. Tales of the Great Filter, a cosmic theory why advanced civilizations were rare. Humans had survived it, but at what cost? Deeper probes revealed anomalies. Human DNA bore scars of genetic tampering, not natural evolution. Fossils on Earth hinted at prior civilizations, erased. The terrifying truth beckoned, but the war pressed on. The swarm adapted, learning human tricks. A counteroffensive loomed. In the heart of the Concordance, on Harmonia Prime, a secret council formed. "We must know," said the elder voice. "What are the Terrans hiding?" Spies were dispatched. What they found would shatter the stars, shadows of the Pastas. The war escalated. Human ingenuity shone like a supernova. Engineers reverse-engineered swarm tech, forging hybrid weapons, nanite swarms that turned the enemy's assimilation against itself. Psychologists, drawing from Terran history of propaganda and PSOPs, broadcast dissonance frequencies that drove swarm drones mad, causing self-destruction. But the swarm was no fool. It evolved, incorporating human DNA from captured soldiers, birthing hybrids abominations with human faces screaming in alien tongues. On the front lines, Sergeant Lena Torres faced one such horror. It wore the skin of her fallen comrade, whispering, "Join us, sister. Peace in unity." Torres fired, her railgun vaporizing it. Peace, we've never known it. Back on Earth, in the fortified bunkers of the Federation, President Vasquez reviewed reports. Victories piled up, but the swarm's core, a hypothesized nexus in the void, remained elusive. "We need to strike the heart," she declared. The Concordance hesitated. Venturing into intergalactic space was suicide. No ship had returned. Humans volunteered. A fleet led by the flagship Odyssey prepared. But as launch neared, the spies returned. In the Grand Assembly, chaos erupted. Holograms displayed stolen data, human history unredacted. Earth wasn't humanity's first home. Millennia ago, Terrans were refugees from a distant galaxy, fleeing a cataclysm of their own making. They had been warriors supreme, conquering empires, but hubris led to the creation of the Void Swarm. Gasps echoed. "They made this," cried a Zarathian, the files detailed in their original galaxy. Humans engineered the swarm as a weapon against rivals. It backfired, consuming everything. Survivors fled through a wormhole, crashing on prehistoric Earth, rebuilding in secrecy. They suppressed aggression not out of enlightenment, but fear of repeating the cycle. The Ban humans had subtly influenced it, planting evidence of their barbarism to isolate themselves, preventing the galaxy from discovering their guilt. "The terrifying truth," whispered the elder voice. "They are the architects of our doom," confronted. Vasquez didn't deny. "We created it to win wars. It won instead. We've spent eons atoning, preparing. That's why we're banned from war, from temptation." But the swarm was here now, drawn by human signals leaking through the ban. Or fate. Betrayal simmered. Some species demanded humans withdraw. Others, pragmatic, saw no choice. The Odyssey launched amid tension. Deep in the void, they found the Nexus, a colossal sphere, pulsing with stolen life. The battle was apocalyptic. Swarm legions clashed with human armadas. Sacrifices mounted, ships rammed into breaches, pilots ejecting into vacuum. In the climax, Captain Hale infiltrated the core, planting a virus coded from ancient human failsafes. For redemption, he muttered, detonating. The nexus imploded. Shockwaves rippling across realities. The swarm faltered, then died. Victory. But at what price? The eternal vigil piece returned, fragile as spun glass. The Concordance rebuilt, but eyes turned warily to humanity. The terrifying truth: humans weren't just warriors. They were survivors of self-inflicted apocalypse. Their ban was self-imposed exile, a quarantine against their own nature. Yet, in saving the galaxy, they proved redeemable. The ban lifted partially humans integrated, but monitored. Vasquez addressed the assembly. We are flawed, but we endure. Together, we can prevent future horrors. Whispers persisted. Was the swarm truly gone, or did humans hold back secrets in hidden labs? Terran scientists studied remnants. Next time, one said, we'll be ready, the galaxy learned. Ban humans from war, and you ban salvation. But invite them, and risk unleashing the storm within. HFY humanity forged in fire, unyielding.